agent changes going into that. My question mark is also about BBB on this Jet. Can we see him activate like he kind of does here on Ascent, for example? Maybe not against Optic, but usually he can. And what's going to happen now? I mean, you're playing agents or composition sometimes with you want to get some information. Now you're playing with almost no information because you only have one trademark now from this chamber and nothing else.
Right. Yeah. One trademarks from the chambers. We'll see how they play that, as well as LG not going with the Killjoy.
Exactly.
Heard the Death mention that's weird, but that gives you a little bit more of that control over positions. And we see that Sova in for Flya feels comfortable there as they do take out the Omen in that situation. So you see what kind of respect they have for that. It's like, what feels comfortable here? Can we deal with this? Perfect.
Yeah.
Sova back in, and we'll take out the Omen to make sure we move a few other things around. Baby Bay back on that Jet. Here it is towards A so far.
Just screams to me that it's just going to be a battle all out between these two teams on this map. And it starts with a couple of shock darts, boom bots, paint shells, shock darts again, couple mollies, but we still stay alive for a bit, at least with the spike plant down for the attacker side. But a trade-off on pistols, Mono pushing forward, and it's still going to be a bloodbath across. A 2 versus 2, a flank coming in from the side, and now it's just going to be one more on the attacker side. It's going to be Flyer picking up a ghost, and they go for this tap, and Flyer doesn't react on it. Looks up on the top, doesn't see anybody there, and it's Mod and B-Dog with no util, so they have to go for the double swing. Fly takes the upper ground, trying to get the kill, gets it onto Mono, but then B-Dog answers back. Unfortunately, the shots just didn't come in quick enough for Fly to get the first blood, or at least the kill on that 2v1, and LG, they saved the round.
Literally, it couldn't have been better either. B-Dog getting the defuse, getting some alt points, getting the frags for himself to get to an operator. Yeah, that worked out well, even though we went down to 1. Nice job by FaZe, getting themselves in, getting the spike down, so they'll have a bit of money, and we will see some of that FaZe aggression coming out in the second round.
Even if we didn't see any kills here, Riv, from the amount of utility that came out from LG, you can see how much utility you have to prevent any type of spike plan for anywhere except towards the A tower.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
They just litter the floor. You can't do much, and you're slowed on the way in or out. We saw actually how hard it was for them to aggress on the site once FaZe did get planted, so yeah, it becomes difficult. Quick 0 point forward. Oh, that's a nice tag onto Tig. Will they follow the drone, though? Oh, they do. They do. One thing I have on teams is when they drone, they just stand there, and then anything can happen, but that drone is used proper, and they get themselves right in.
Look at that. They even have fast snake bites for a top of tower after all. Now paint shells on the ground, low HP and Sply. They do actually have a force buy here for FaZe, and it works out. Baby Bay gets 2 kills right on the pulse plant, and even Superman on the left side of Maze drops Moose. Already, just like that, a 5 versus 1.
Oh my gosh. They're just rabid. Moving forward, Baby Bay wants another one as well. 3K on the round, almost a tag here. It's not going to be the headhunter. It's going to be a headshot from Baby Bay, Vans. They all go low. Some may even meet some armor. Poise didn't even have to really do anything to buy another half armor this round. So for the first one to go in favor of LG, that's exactly how you take a round back.
Oh, yeah. A force buy that pays off into a prime gaming flawless is you can't ask for anything more than that. That's going to skew the econ back. In favor of FaZe, you're going to probably have to count on and rely on B-Dog with the Headhunter to get something done. But still, look across the board here for the defender side. They still have a bunch of utility. And we've mentioned it before. If there's a combination of snake bites and shock darts, that's already a kill in itself. So let's see how we're playing this for LG. We're trying to get this orb. It works out. We're playing on top of the Indiana Jones, as I like to call it. But they're not going to spawn anybody there off the rope on the defender side, and they pull back to just... Again, go for the utility gun, most likely.
Drone, dash to Jenny, Baby Bay, repeat. Stubs his toe on that one, didn't get over that. They're still going to get a kill out of a rotation from Tig. You see what happens to the rest of the map, though, when this A hit goes down. We see frag coming in onto Tig, and now the rest of the map starts to flap from LG, but FaZe already prepared for the econ to come in. Sorry, that low buy.
Yeah.
For LG. Okay, that'll sting.
For a bit. Last one spotted on top of the rafters here towards the spawn side. Moose on this 3v1 even is going to have no utility to work with. Gonna try to jump it into boys, but it's still going to be a round converted for FaZe, and it looked not too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot more utility usage for LG into that round, but they really just probably go for pistol kills and save the utility into the actual gun round for LG.
So it looks like we've kind of figured out FaZe maybe Econ. They go back to that once they have LG back down on a low buy, possibly. We'll see if they have a default kind of B strat for it. But we've seen that a few times from FaZe. They run it pretty clean, and Baby Bay's the first one in onto that Jenny right side. Keep an eye on that here, as it looks like a little bit more mid play now that we got guns. They double pressure? They're just giving Baby Bay more space. Of course. Waiting for the spam to go by. It looks like they will tempt it. Dicey's going to be the first one out. We're looking for that trademark. Looks like it over towards A, unless that's just a rendezvous for now. But man, FaZe is taking space.
Yeah, and it goes off with the 0 point to try to clear that space. A dash under. It works out for 2 kills in their favor. The lurk continues on the mid side too, just to watch our rotation and cut the rotation that works out for FaZe. This bonus round upgraded to a lot of weapons here and rifles, and the last one is spotted. Hey, I mean, there's one trademark that could be placed somewhere, and somehow B-Dog steps on it. And that's going to be around here secured for sure for FaZe, because you want to save the operator into the next round.
Yeah, again, it's a very big item for LG to be able to keep that. I don't think we'll see too much headhunting at this economy. FaZe is sitting pretty well after taking it back second round, but LG is still feeling the pain of that one here. Tour de Force is up if B-Dog does need to get something else going in a few rounds. But right now, FaZe is, again, the desk talked a little bit about it. It's not one-dimensional. This one, they work towards mid. They find out a Vandal's on Boiler, break through into that area with 2, and they lose Baby Bay, but the trade is there, right? And then the map is scattered, and we saw them take that space pretty quick. So they're not really giving LG too much time to react to once FaZe does execute whatever they get a first frag on.
And not giving any opportunities for LG to save any weapons there, so that's the op down, back into an eco round for LG. Frag. So much needed timeout. Just try to reset things for a bit here. I'm assuming this is for LG, or yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, is it gonna be a timeout or another PC swap for Mata? But that said, I wanted to point out also that I really like how FaZe are working their A side default too. Just the owl drone to the 0 point, also to the recon dart, because we mentioned this before we walked into this game here, Rivington. We had the discussion that, you know, since you have one less trademark to work with, sometimes maybe even on the attacker side, you want to place it towards the entrance of garage on that B, so you can play pulse plants on B. You don't really place it towards the A side because you could really just rotate across on the defender side all the way from the right side entrance and get around that trademark. So that said, LG was, for me, I had an inkling that LG would try to play a little bit more aggressively towards the A side takes, but it's been denied every single time, not only by recon darts, but by the 0 point from Poise too. And that disables any utility that LG could use, and they're forced to fall back into the A side every single time. So they don't have the opportunity to grab too much map control or aggressive map control on their defender side.
And this should be another low buy here from LG, and they look to put that pressure onto A at least this time. I see a rendezvous back towards the other side of A. And no trademark for this one coming in. We'll see if they play the...
Look at this.
Yep, 1-2. As well as they get damage onto that orb, so if you did try to get it, you're suffering just a little bit. Yeah. There's a lot of little things going into play here that as well make the round possibly read out into FaZe's favor.
So both Moose and Mata disabled, and you definitely saw they were trying to go for that orb, and as you mentioned it perfectly here, Riv, we had that snake bite on that ground with a shock dart, so at least they decide to stand their ground on the pipes for LG, so they do have a little bit of map control now towards the A side, and on the B side, we're clearing out with the Owl drone, and speaking of clearing out, it's actually in favor of FaZe. A kill from Poise, Mata to fall, 0 point to clear out a little bit more. Even a null command. They're just going for it here for FaZe. And just on the other side of Maze, no kills for Moose. Poise and Superman continues to open up the A site. And this is actually a site that LG so far has been having a hard time to hold.
That was... And imagine that, well, we don't have to imagine it, we just saw it, but that without Baby Bay, right? Everybody took the same position as if it was kind of the infield of a baseball team rotating to cover. Somebody had covered, Poised went to Baby Bay's position. Again, 410 was covered, and it was just the same positioning without Baby Bay. So it seems that these are run and actually orchestrated just to the pinpoint accuracy of being able to do it without a member that's really needed to start the opening of the strategy.
Yeah.
Nicely done there. They're able to thwart LG once again. And we do have to put into play that it was Stingers and Marshals on the side of LG. But FaZe they're not faltering in execution no matter what they see here. That's methodical again. rinse and repeat here. We'll see what they can do for another round as we get into round 6. Operator for B-Dog. Can he start laying them out?
That's
is the question. LG fans are looking for it.
No stones left unturned. Using an ult command against a lower buy for LG, so FaZe really want to put this into their advantage. So this is a trademark that I was talking about here on the attacker side. You leave it towards the garage. It allows a little bit more coverage for LG, and if they notice it right now for LG, a hard hit, you could probably get an early rotate across or aggressive push. That said, speaking of aggressive pushes, it's Tig, no way of escaping. So looking to be a one-and-done position, so you're hoping for him to pop off. There's that first kill, and then immediately gets traded out by Baby Bay. Now the Viper's Pit comes out on the attacker side, and it should be a plant coming in now for FaZe.
Oh, what a nice Viper's Pit, too. You get to mess around with yellow there. Plant gets a little tricky because there's not much room that you would be planting in, right? So you have to be careful that you have the outside coverage of that Viper's Pit.
That's huge. That 0 point is not going to allow the Showstopper to come out too and really allow FaZe to get the plant in. So very nice call. Pulse plant coming in. A spray from the Phantom of Mata does not connect onto a kill. And there is Baby Bay being that nuisance right now, able to lurk through the defenses and get that frag onto Mata. They also spot Dazzle in the back of the site, and it's him and Moose or LG trying to go for this retake and are looking for mistakes from FaZe, but FaZe are so composed. The wall comes down, allowing Baby Bay to get the kill, and that wall being the Viper's Pit, just to clear it out to give the numbers advantage for FaZe to at least get the trades in, and that secures a round, forcing Moose to save his weapon. And FaZe, they put 5 on the board, and Riv, I mean, we're looking at FaZe into the stage 2 where they actually lost this map with a slightly different comp against TSM 5-13 during the open qualifiers, but they are looking like they've ironed out all those issues against LG.
Yeah, from start to finish there, as things were happening in their favor. You had 2 lineups that pushed Tig off his initial position. That Viper's Orb on the end of the trailer, at the end of orange or green there. And that creates a one-way if Tig can play that initial position. He gets forced behind yellow. He does get a kill, but Baby Bay's got him out. So whatever, that fizzles out. As the ult goes down, when we saw Mata come in, he was just a second ahead of that drone, and Mata had ultimate. I thought they were going to wait for the drone to go in, and Mata ults. Create pressure, push him out. Things just kind of fell apart there. FaZe continues to have these little forward positions that don't allow these utility timings for LG to go right.
Speaking of ults, a lot of them available here for the lower buy of LG, and one tagging the chamber away from Flya's Owl Drone, who's just trying to do some solo plays. Viper's Pit on the A side. Okay, so we are going to look to expend our utility for LG with our ultimates. But one of them looking for some information down towards pipes. That's an important agent that you want to keep alive because you have the res to work with, and that's even Moose that has the Vandal saved from that previous round. So he's going to heal himself up, and they're going to look for some action here towards the A side for FaZe. So lucky.
That's from above.
Yeah, at least Tig trades it back, and he's still able to jump back into the Viper's Pit, so that will deny, at least for a bit, potentially a plant to come in. Oh no, as he comes back out, Flyer's waiting with the angle. The res, that's a big res, gets that Showstopper. But here comes a Hunter Sphere on the attacker side. That pings onto 2 players, and he's looking for this kill into B-Dog, but it doesn't work. So that Showstopper is still up. We're looking for this plant. The Al Jones coming out from the defender side as well, and we do have a ping towards that back. We want this kill. He misses the satchel charge, and now he misses the Showstopper, and that's Superman pushing forward, but Mata at least gets a kill with the Sheriff. Now it's a 2 versus 2, and we still have this Vandal from Moose. He's jumping on the top. It's a trade-off once again, and it's still the Sheriff from Mata that's trying to save the round. He picks up the rifle, and now he goes with the paint shells off the ropes into the floor, and he gets the defuse after the kill of the Flyer, and LG with their ultimates somehow save and win the round.
Oh, the thumbs up with a bit of tears in your eye. Yeah, absolutely.
One of those Satch, it's all good.
I think he did like a backflip off of that too, a front handspring with a split. Oh my God, there was so much going on that round. Mata able to see it all. And that grenade that actually went over to the side of Laya was pretty wild. Pushes him to a bad position, gets the frag. LG, stop the bleeding. And man, they had to work for it, that one. FaZe still has quite a bit of money, though. Let's see if they can do it again. This is going to be a battle, it seems, back for LG here. Used quite a bit to get back onto that round, man.
This top lane has started sweating, and now it's still sweating bullets here as Dazzle. What a shot from Dicey. We got it off camera, but from that backflip that we saw from the POV of Baby Bay, it had to be nice.
I have the spike.
Yeah, seriously. LG can't catch a break in the beginning of these rounds. I feel like they just need a moment to set up with the slow, you know, just wall somebody out. But FaZe is just off the rip, flying so quick right now.
Next to clear out the generator. A little bit of a poison orb should be on the defender side here, just to try to prevent FaZe from getting into that site or utility being dumped. As the Moose is still trying to hold his ground towards the back of the site. Take his teammate falls, and Dicey continues to go to work on his lonesome. A first blood into Boiler, 2 entries into A. That's what we wanted, right? If it's not going to be BBB, it has to be Dicey, and he got it done.
And Vans, I love that you pointed out, still trying to hold the back of sight there, and that's what you want to do. But that's where Moose is throwing his slows. They're already in. You're just stopping them from getting in. Right? They're pulled over. They can't pull over anymore. That's the situation. But so they're really, again, not in position to create that slow. Stop FaZe where they're maze coming around fights. And it just seems like FaZe is working a bit too quick right now.
Yeah. FaZe doing an excellent job. Really never let go of that pedal, even if they lost that previous round.
Yeah.
And now Mata and B-Dog in another situation where they have to save their weaponry because they're going to be in a low economy into this next round here. Well, actually, they did get around with an eco, right? But there you go. You see that it's still pretty low for Take, Moose, and Dazzle. They gotta figure out something here. They gotta figure out how they could react onto FaZe's early default aggression into the A side. And it doesn't really look like they're switching too much, except with the exception of Dazzle here with a little bit of Silva utility to maybe try to clear it back.
Luminosity throwing together a bit of a buy here. Seeing if they can cover each other to make sure one of these pushes works. 0 point, or actually Sonar.
Figures
him
and a 0
out.
point. They had everything on him.
Baby Bay, fearless. Absolutely to the back of the site again, and they set up. Look at this line of scrimmage they've just created with FaZe a few seconds into the round. Knowing their opponent is on a lower buy, they try to take the space immediately. Quick trades there.
Spike down.
Working out. A little bit of the op from B-Dog they had from the previous round, and suddenly it's a player advantage for LG. And we actually haven't had a plant from FaZe yet. This is a great opportunity for this flank to happen now from Mata, who's moving up towards his belt side.
I see.
Push back forward.
Talked about that one trademark, Vans.
Yeah, but he's already made it through. All right, so that is false information now. This is a great opportunity for Mata to get that backstab. Dicey's just trying to play the off angle, and she read it like a book. Superman was waiting for that. Dicey then is closing that gap towards the defender spawn side. Upshot missed by B-Dog. As now at least Moose gets the frag with the Sheriff, and Superman is just going to try to hide in a little bit of his own Viper's pit. It could be a drop from the top, but he's just running that clock down, and that's B-Dog coming in with the shorty. And another round where they didn't have the economy on their side. Yeah. They make it work for LG.
So this trademark behind keeps you off the floor, and it makes you take elevation, right? Unless they can consider, you know, there's a jet coming around behind and you can smoke that trademark. You're now forcing that person up onto Bell or getting an audio cue that they've dropped to retake the site. So I like the placement of that trademark. Yeah. But as you saw, Superman did still have to keep an eye on it to make sure they didn't get flanked.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great call. Forcing the belt side, and if it ever comes down to a 1v1, that audio cue, because you're forcing a drop. There's nowhere we can go in down silently from that drop. So that's a great call for that positioning for the trademark. Even if it looks like, oh, you can go up the ramp from the attacker side and go all around it, it's still a great spot overall. So very good call on that one, Riv. And speaking of good calls now for LG, stacking the right amount of players with their duelists on this B side, where FaZe is looking to push forward with this Owl Drone, but it doesn't get enough distance. So this is actually pretty good for a potential bait and switch with both B-Dog and Mata. So if B-Dog gets a shot or misses a shot, TP's away, this is still a great position for Mata to sweep up a couple of kills.
All right. The jumper's there.
Trying to bait as much as we can.
Having a jumper signals to anybody, and it should signal to you that another person is watching them jump, and that is the case here.
is the lineup, but Mana only gets one. They're trying to go and dance around the yellow side, and that's VDog missing the shot, but at least Dazzle scores that back at the B side to hold and defend. VDog with his TP, though, back at Snowman, and Moose is already the one that was jump spotting for the team. I mean, stacking towards the right side with the 4 players here, it makes it very difficult now for Playa to try to clutch, and indeed he doesn't, and that is going to be LG. Hey, I mean, the roles have switched from Fracture into IceBox. It was a very slow start for FaZe in a first map, slow start for LG on the second map, but now we got a game in our hands again.
You kind of find your footing, you figure out how FaZe is playing this, and LG sits back a little bit more on that one, right?
Yep.
They took positions, they held hard angles, they had a clear for, remember Tig played that B position, and he was moved off by a sonar bolt and a few other things coming in. That couldn't have actually stopped where LG positioned that time. So FaZe could get as close as they wanted, but fall into the trap. So I really like what LG had set up there over the conditioning that FaZe is trying to kind of do with their starting utility timing. That was one of the few B strats we've actually seen in this one, Vans. Yeah, just a few on this. A lot of A action coming on this game, and a bit of mid action that did bring us to B once from FaZe. But this timeout, we'll kind of sort out possibly what's been happening the last few rounds. We see 9 and 10 have gone to LG, but they've been decently dominant.
Definitely dominant, but we're seeing this comeback indeed. And you know what? I was going to say that a couple of rounds ago when LG was trying to get things done, I love the fact that the amount of utility that they have for LG to prevent plants didn't really work out in their favor. And they're changing the strat book a little bit, right? They had Mata trying to flank it into another moment, but FaZe also has that red. So whatever LG is really trying to do into these rounds to try to counter FaZe's aggression or FaZe's execution into the A site, it's still being denied. It really comes down to, now at this point, land your shots. And finally, LG are kind of pretty much doing that right now. This round,
Baby Bay.
Yeah, he's already inside the B site, but gets denied right away.
There goes Baby Bay. He's trying to. I love how he tries to put so much on his plate there. The high risk, high reward. His Moose and the rest of the team were able to shut that down from FaZe. This fast strat now being absorbed pretty well by LG. A slow one last round.
Yeah.
And the FaZe timeout seems to fizzle out.
Player standing.
And one of those moments where you got to land your shots. Again, off camera, Dazzle playing that boiler side where he got owned by Dicey like 3-4 rounds ago, and now he answers back. And speaking of Dicey, in a very tight situation of a 5 versus 1, the spike is down very far away from him, so I don't even think he's going to try to break the econ, because even at this point, the economy is getting quite low for FaZe. It works out for this first kill onto Dazzle. Only ends the hot streak that Dazzle's been building up onto this round. And whatever position you're trying to get here, easy kill from Mata. And that's one round away from tying things up from LG. 5-6 is our score here, still in the first half of this second map.
Do we just get the mirror? Because FaZe grabs one here, and we get another 7-5 for that leading team that started off from pistol. Oh, my word. Remember, actually, FaZe grabbed second round here. The LG had to kind of battle back from that really roughed up economy, winning first, losing second. Great job by FaZe to be able to make that happen. And then a great job by LG, again, to kind of recoup their strength and figure out how to stop FaZe, because that A default they ran for FaZe grabbed them so many rounds. They switched it up, kind of pressure mid. We talked about it before. And it seems like they're not really fast pressuring too much anymore.
Here it comes.
LG, however.
And I think they hear this drone onto the B side too, so they might pinch back to try to stop flying the rotation. Here comes. He's looking at it. There's that kill. And now they could go for this flank on the A side, and that's Mata at the point. Breaks the trademark, spots the first. It's going to be Superman. Showstopper in, and it connects onto that player. The spike is now down. Pushing forward on the other side is B-Dog. That is going to be the KO ult down as well, and that pinch is perfect for LG to make it a 5 versus 1. One more to go. It's Baby Bay. Sideshow, you want to see the action of Baby Bay on this map with some jet? Let's see if he's got the jets going. He already used his dash on a 5 versus 1. Now looking to clear back space, and he's close to that spike. Still, thankfully, has time to work with, and it doesn't work out. A flawless round for LG to tie up this game to a 6-6 scoreline, and we're going to go to a break to see how this unravels right after this.
A fine. Down A.
So now that we actually have LG warmed up on this cold map of IceBox, we'll see if we could go the distance. Can FaZe continue this run and then bring this to a third map, or will LG just finally close it off? I mean, we're coming back into this with LG having a strong defender side towards the later end of that half, Riv. And what can they pull out here on the attack?
Where are we going? Oh, Breeze. You take a vacation next map if we get that? Okay. Okay, FaZe. See what they can do. It will be a start from LG now on the attack side second half. FaZe doesn't have too much of a push on their side, but we do see a trademark covering that kitchen area, so that may be a consistent for them. And mid push actually covered for LG here if anybody were able to get around the flank.
I like this. And we're pushing forward for Dicey. It's the boom bot that kills him.
What a cheeky little play.
There.
Being able to access that corridor just from behind to push him, smoke him out basically. Really nicely done. Now they can wait. Know that FaZe kind of has to reorganize themselves to have a defense that feels good, and that's when LG will make their move.
Oh, yeah. Dicey felt at that moment. He over-welcomed his stayed, but he was actually definitely greeted by 3 players of LG right there instead of going for the TP back into safety. And that Allen drone potentially, I mean, it doesn't get the tag onto Baby Bay, thankfully, from that 0 point that was thrown from Poise, but the position is given away. So they could actually get the crosshair placement to try to get this frag, and it's paint shells into the ground. Potential shock darts, wasting out the dash right away, and even a ping coming in as well. This is actually quite good now for LG as you paddle over towards his B side for a plant.
So clean. LG starting to put their stamp on kind of playing off the ball and making FaZe think different things are going to happen. This is a very big round for them. The second half pistol, we're going to get that fight.
Pig just wants it done with this frenzy. Superman and Poise.
Ooh.
Not going to work. Only one more to go. It's Poise. He does have a 0 point. He does have a ghost, and he's able to at least turn one into a ghost until he gets dropped here by Mata, and that's LG winning the pistol round, and they take the lead for the first time in this second map.
That was an abrupt retake. LG were biting on what was going on at A with just obviously some members towards B. Really couldn't retaliate right away. They were able to retake that site really fast. Power in numbers as they turn the corner hip and hip. And that's really what was able to give them the trades against FaZe. So it looks like FaZe will not go for that second buy again. Even with the plant. That's what kind of I think was one of their first reasons to do it. They were able to get that spike down here. They just give second round to LG, possibly. Looks like they will start to work towards A a little bit and see if any headhunters can come from B-Dog and mid.
Look at this push.
Toxins going up.
B-Dog's watching with his headhunter towards mid side, but we do have
Toxins going up.
trying to hold the angle on this double swing potential from FaZe at the entrance of the B garage, and that's Tag on the other end. Just through this thin wall. He's going to hold it back. So he's going to stay in spawn pretty much for the whole round. B-Dog's going to do the same thing, and they're just going to try to catch them off rotations while the rest are defaulting towards the A side.
Toxin screen down. Poison orb emitted.
They don't even want it. The wall played so well. FaZe is playing that defense, and LG is giving some respect to this. They have to consider that FaZe bought, right? You're like, okay, they bought this round last half, so probably figuring FaZe bought again. A lot of time is being bought here, just I think on that idea.
Yeah. Could definitely go for the risky play. Thankfully, on the first half, they had the plant to work in their favor, but yeah, you're right. You're staying cautious, right? It's still a 7-6 scoreline. LG is just trying to make sure that, you know, they dot their I's, cross their T's, and it's going to be now the final dot at the end of the sentence, a plant towards the A side, but there's that pinch from FaZe. At least information on 2 players from what B-Dog has seen, but it was 3 players pinching in from the defender side. And now it's up to Moose, trying to push it back. Low HP is going to be super, and should be a round 1, a battle 1 by Moose, and looking for that second one with success, and that's all the weapons down. The rest of them are with pistols on the defender side, moving in towards his B side from the spawn, and that is clean for the rest of LG.
Up 1 by 1, spreading the kills out as well. You can see a lot of the ultimates nicely coming online as we get into our 15th round. Let's see what kind of guns FaZe is going to bring to the table. Baby Bay's close. Nope, not to his ultimate. We'll just see what they can provide on this one. A strap, possibly. Trademarks are going up in the same spot every time here. And LG, or I'm sorry, FaZe has only divvied up their defense a few times in those pistols. We'll see what they actually want to get out of a gun round here. That they're going to see LG's first real strat. Ooh, trademark got moved.
And I'm really
They don't
liking
want to
this
be
from
flanked.
LG as well. You were talking about the strat that they have is they're putting like their Silva sometimes on the B side, right, with Dazzle, and they could always use Mata's Boombot towards the A side or the other way to scout to see if there's going to be an aggressive push on the A side instead. But that said, it's looking to be more a mid to B split for LG to start things off. There's a couple of pings, a couple of information pushing back FaZe in the back of the B site. They still have 3 players there to mess with.
B-Dog is just toying with the edge of that smoke. Yeah, you gotta careful because it creates a bit of a one-way, especially if you're running out for Snowman. Only slightly if you're looking forward, as they are right now down that path of green.
It's gonna stay quiet.
Could get this dart pretty far forward here if he does take a bit more space.
A reset of all this allows Dicey to get back into position at yellow, so this is the window of opportunity is closing right now for LG. Still with 30 seconds left on the clock, they're still looking for this mid to be split. This is also utility available for players on the defense, and we're just gonna walk through it and get the kill. That's nice to start things off. And now Mata gets the second one onto Superman, and wow, how is this working out? It's looking to be a flawless, and finally it's stopped by BBB. And again, another one of those situations where, yeah, he gets a kill, but it's a meaningless kill. As LG gets a plant on a 4v1, and Baby Bay is already looking to save his weapon back towards A.
What a nice play in mid here by LG this round. Ooh, go watch out. It just had somebody behind, or it was Tig behind Mata, right? Mata pushes through, giving FaZe the idea that, all right, mid has been pushed. This gas wall is going to go down, and that's when Flya thought he had more safety, kind of false sense of security, and that's exactly when Tig pushes forward, having 2 people in that area, you know. LG is doing really a great job of doing things on B site that makes FaZe think that would require more, right?
Yeah.
You're getting that Viper util, but wait, Viper's still mid with Mata, kind of just throwing you off. Here, LG find themselves another one, 9-6, as they continue to kind of pick apart, spread out the map, and get the kills as we saw last round, some in mid, some towards B. Never really committing to something too full until they can take enough members of FaZe out.
We're seeing now again the reverse scenario this time of, instead of being B-Dog stuck towards the belt, it's Baby Bay after they lose pistol second round and now bonus too. So this is looking quite good for both of these teams on their starts on the attacker side, but I gotta say there was definitely some fumbles from FaZe on how they were positioned to really watch their angles. That one small missed timing, unfortunate there for FaZe, turned into like 3 kills in favor of LG. But that said, let's just talk about that a little bit later. This is looking to be quick. Baby Bay doesn't want to stop as he's pushing early towards this A-side pipes to get the first blood, but the rest of them are only with pistols. B-Dog gets pinged out. He can still salvage this weapon potentially for FaZe. This slows down LG on their A-side take.
See that util dump right on that alt orb. It seems to become a high priority. We saw LG doing it from defense, doing a little bit on this side too. FaZe having their own. We were saying if anybody does go for that orb, they suffer a bit. Seems like they're trying to really test each other. Here, pushing up. Boys finds one. Oh my god, the trade quick. But Flya takes down 3.
Okay. Is this all through the poison orb? Or the green wall? Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. We get kills through smokes with a Vandal, a Boombot kill. That's a 2 versus 1. Yeah, they'll be able to savage a weapon once again here. So it came from Baby Bay. He got the magic touch. Flower picks it up, gets 3 kills, and now we'll see if Superman could pick it up a little bit later on, because Dicey still has this headhunter to work with, and Tig is looking to tuck the tail between the legs and run back towards the B side for a plant with 18 seconds left. And this is actually really good, because he could get a plant and a Viper's Pit to just play inside it.
Okay, he's going to try it too.
10 seconds left.
Does he have anything? He doesn't. Just the pit once it comes up. Full flank from behind.
Welcome to my world.
We're in it to win it, fans. Let's see if Tig can get this round and bring him to 10-6. FaZe could stop the bleeding here. It's taken him a little bit. Superman's still alive. He's had great results in these clutch rounds.
There's no util right now for Tig.
Yeah.
We could put a trademark in there for Dicey. We could put a poison orb, and a poison orb is already going to decay him down to like 1 HP for Tig if he tries to go in. So at least that trademark comes out. That clears the front side of that Viper's pit, and now they're clearing towards that back. And Tig gets that swing. He gets the kill, but not enough. Dicey trades it right back, and it's going to be FaZe getting that round where it looked dicey overall there for that team.
No pun intended.
Yep.
Getting snake eyes on that. Nicely done. A thrifty as well for FaZe. So being able to do a lot with a little in this map overall on that second round, first half, and now this round, round 16 as they just played out. See how this one came to be. FaZe, Baby Bay with a quick push up, poised, doing a bit of damage that plays into Playa here. Or he kind of trips on his own shoelace, comes up with a beautiful 3K. And then the end from Tig. A little bit of Viper on Viper.
I almost feel like he swatted out Mana with the showstopper in midair. Probably that's how he got his first and second kills, and then the third one through the smoke. So that was actually quite nice. Very well done for FaZe, actually. As, again, they didn't have too much to work with. Now, at least you do have some more economy for LG to salvage something into this round here.
Trying to work this operator. Of course, he takes that fight again. Like Baby Bay.
Well, he wants his
So
dash, man. He
aggressive.
already used it early,
Yep.
so.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that it's gone. Now all quiet. They reset. No trademarks have been popped just yet. Looks like the spike will start going toward B, but again, they work this mid. And it looks like they have Tig there quite often to know exactly when that gas wall is going up and down, how to play off the angle.
And a huge 0 point from Poise. That spots 2 players towards mid, and now they hear the L drone towards the A side, so they know the hit coming A. So FaZe already has Poise rotating over, and the off shot from Dicey connects onto B-Dog. A key player for LG falls, and now we're trying to tap. It doesn't work out. The Molly actually can prevent the plant. We're still just trying to go from the behind as we're breaking that wall on the defender side from spawn. Here comes that other plant towards B once again. The swing in the battle head-to-head as it's a Sova on Sova as Flyer takes the upper hand, taking a big flank. He's going to potentially get this kill into screens. No, they're watching it. Fly even gets a kill onto Moose. Now finally Tig answers back, and Superman comes in for the trade. Now it's that 2 versus 1. Mana is actually making it a 2 versus 1 right here with a beautiful shot looking towards that top. But again, another save coming in on the other end as Baby Bay almost got picked off. That's Dicey with the kill, and that's FaZe with the defuse, and that's FaZe with 2 in a row.
What a play at the end of that one. The blast pack knockout as well. Like, you're dead to rights. You have one thing left to do, and that's throw a blast pack at the person that's standing 5 feet from you. The fact that that worked out means it's the right call.
Yeah.
Right? You probably never would have thought of that, but instinct just clicks in. And that's all that you can rely on in these moments. Look at that.
I love it.
Pre-thrown. Pre-thrown. In the instance, it looked like Superman was already standing in front of him, but he actually, not even a pre-fire, a pre-throw.
Yeah. Well, there definitely ain't no throw in here. This is a close game between LG and FaZe, and that's Mana also stepping up to the plate after we've talked about his, how he was shut down by FaZe and couldn't get a showstopper out on that first map of Fracture, and he's definitely putting good usage into Raze on this map here.
Just going back to their TSM matchup on IceBox, what was it for him? As I look at the wrong one.
All good, all good. He was
But it was his switch.
Yeah.
So we go back to Built by Gamers, and he would have the Sage. So it's so different that he's just like, yeah, you know, I didn't feel good on it as we played our first map on Fracture, but I feel like it's right for this one, so let's switch it up. You know, that absolutely wild stuff.
Yeah, the agent comp. We talked about the triple sentinel, right, for LG at that point.
Yeah.
When they were playing that matchup too. A nice little switch that, it's not necessarily full success in flying colors, but they were able to make this very challenging for FaZe, and as well as FaZe is doing the same thing with their agent comp change, doing the same thing to LG. Back into this game where we have actually a very deep Viper's pit into the A side, courtesy of FaZe, while the map control on the attacker side is looking to get that orb pickup.
Yeah. Reset. Move the Trademark quite far up into A. Looks like this is going to be a hit. You only have about 7.5 seconds left on that gas wall. So they got to work quick here or be ready for pants. Just pants dropping right after this wall goes down.
That's Poise going to work in the back of the site with that Phantom. Mata off the ropes again. This time on the B side. Showstopper is out. Another enemy is close, and that's Baby Bay just around the corner. And he does not have the dash to work with, so that could be a lucky rocket that can connect. It does not. But he does get the kill with the rifle. But meanwhile, his teammates have fallen down towards that mid side. It's a 2v1. Flyer and Superman. 6 bullets left into his gun as he goes for the plant instead.
Out of charges.
Now with the
Gets the
reload,
reload
they're
on.
still close. Yeah, there's going to be one on the top. He's just looking for this jiggle. And it's the timing that he doesn't look into the right angle. Flyer drops down, and that's 3 in a row for FaZe now. A salvaged op and a 9-9 back to a tied game between LG and FaZe.
Down to the wire on just about every one of these rounds. You got Mata over here playing a completely different game than anybody else, soaring through the air, grabbing onto ropes, mid-jump, shooting people. And it takes 2 to take them down there in the end. Overall, both teams are just pulling out all the stops here. Great job by Poise to get 2 on the site. His job is done, and it was enough for the rest of the team to come in and bring the cavalry here, even against the 3K of Mata. Just too many angles to watch.
Yeah.
Holy moly. This one is, again, right down to the wire, Vans. 9-9. These teams are so evenly matched.
And the Econ's shattered now for LG. 0 Point is going to spot Tig, so he's just going to try to keep his opponents at bay with the Jiggle Peak, spotting Baby Bay, and also hurt the Phantom. So that's 2 players now spotted for LG at the B site. They could maybe try to inch out towards A, but could see the patience towards the A site. They really want to activate Tig and Mata into this round. He made it into Kitchen. He broke a trap wire. He's keeping 3 players back towards the B site. And now they're going to start hitting towards the A site here for LG.
Dazzle's maybe getting a little bit of audio here, trying to figure things out. Remember, it's the low buy from LG, so they're trying to encroach and get scale on the site as much as they can before this first trade comes in.
This is crazy.
Kind of reconsider that high ground. They're like, do we go high ground and take a Vandal to the face? Icy's on the other side with an offer. Oh, they clear him almost immediately.
Oh, man. So much utility into the generator side, but this flank is huge from 2 players. That single trap wire goes into the pipes, and now it allows Superman to get this flank right here. There's 1 kill. There's 2 kills, and a 3rd one from Baby Bay from the top rows at the belt side. There's the 4th. An easy flawless for FaZe, and yeah, maybe now you want 2 trips for Chamber.
Yeah, just getting pushed right through on that one. See that? We saw the mid trip. Nobody really had to come through there. A lot of what came around was a big flank. Superman just slowly making that play, and it's good to see teams knowing that they can push these buttons right away, that there will be a change in how the defense for Chamber is played, and there are different openings. FaZe completely finds that one and wipes out LG on the side hold.
So at least back into a round where they have economy for the attacker side from LG. Continues to go tit for tat on both ends. A res available, so they want to try to go for something aggressive.
Oh boy.
Get a res right after, and that's 4 players going through the poison orb. But this is new.
They play a bit of the same, right? They tried to take out the Chamber last time, but now they play towards mid. Holy moly, man.
Oh my god, Superman's coming in from the boiler side, and somehow he trades back for 2 kills, and it doesn't work out for LG on that split. It looked good on paper until that wall was like, oh, everything's safe. Nah, you're going to drop 1 boiler and get caught with your pants down.
Dazzle.
But then Dazzle, who gets the first blood, it's his turn to actually get his own flank and drops 2 of his own. So Flyer's on his own. And now you know that the last 2 players could book it towards the B side for the plant. Flyer's going to have to come up huge.
So much happening in these rounds. Like, I feel like Superman popped up out of nowhere off of his push this time. They're just varying up the ways and the positions and angles that they hold on both sides so much. I don't think they know how to really fight back once a fight is happening. We see them kind of in the middle of it, trying to build the plane while they're flying.
Lots of util available here for Flyer, but you know he doesn't want to use his recon because it'll just give his position away. And now that he's forcing on that tap, at least that's info on 1 player. Now with the recon dart, he knows that they're both there, but that's not good enough. Tick wins that duel, and FaZe and LG are now tied 10-10.
So it took up until, it didn't take up until, but LG shows us that mid strat after being pressured into almost needing a tie game, right?
Yeah.
It's getting very close. This is the first time we see LG kind of push themselves into this position. Superman feels like he can play a little bit crazy this round, like what he did, and LG recoup as well. So their strategy, they pull it back after taking a deep breath. Pig and Dazzle are able to do some big damage there. But Vans, it's just about everybody dead on every round here. No one's able to amass amount of money that's going to pull them away with these rounds.
Yeah.
There aren't too many rounds to pull away now.
I mean, it's flank after flank after flank after flank on that previous round from both teams, and you got to give it to FaZe for pressing that forward, understanding that there's less utility on the attacker side, and they're trying to take advantage of that, which is why you're also seeing Baby Bay pushing down towards that pipe side on that previous round. So they're really trying to take advantage of less utility, the non-triple sentinel that LG is not using into this game. But on the other end, though, this round here, LG have been using a lot of information and utility to keep FaZe back towards the B site, and they're going for the same strat. This time, though, a self-wall boost, a triple boost with the wall to get the first kill, but Dicey's in the back on the side. Now up towards that boiler. Dicey's going to look for a second kill here. Here comes a flank from Baby Bay. Doesn't pan out. And there you go. Finally, for the rest. They're dropping like flies. It's up to boys. Woo! Lands that shot. That was clean from B-Dog.
Gotta be dog. Nice job on that one. Almost flawless. They lose Mata there. Again, they played the same play, but you saw a bit of the change, right? Roomba went through first. They alerted to that. And the nade that Mata threw had a little bit of English on it, right? He was close, but it still landed right on Boiler. So he kind of backstepped before he threw it so it wouldn't have the full distance of the nade. Everything was planned to clear Boiler there and make sure ground was the only thing they had to fight. Really nicely done. It was a variation of the last strat. And a lot of times, when does your opponent think they're going to run the same thing?
Yeah. You know? A little bit of that variation instead of a Sage Wall, going towards the spawn side into screens. They go for that self boost instead. And it works out. I keep saying self boost, but it was literally a triple boost from LG on that onto that round. And that really cut every single type of rotation that FaZe had from B to the A side. Just, again, because of the utility that was used by Fly at the beginning with the Owl Drone and everything else that pushed FaZe back towards Snowman at the beginning. So it was really, really nicely done how LG controlled the rotation of that map.
Breeze is next, and we're getting close, very close to that being a possibility here.
Yeah.
Heading into your 22nd round, let's see what they have for each other. The spread happens. See if they leave. Actually, both, you were talking about it before, that Mata and Dazzle would be in separate positions to make sure they can cover things, mostly on D. But here, they're bringing both of those recon utility agents over towards A, so I figure this may be an action. They might end A. Change that thought now that Superman just takes control of 410 with Viper Pit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was mentioning they could split off both ends on the defender side as well as the attacker, just because of that boom bot that they could use to clear out this area right here that we're currently watching Mata go with guns instead. But let's see what this judge could do inside that pit, because despite this Viper's pit, you still have potentially LG looking to at least push Superman away, and that could be potentially done with the Owl Drone, where Superman can leave a snake bite, run that down, see how it goes.
They would love Tig to get a kill right now. If that could happen and they can back up here and then start going towards the other site, but nobody's given Tig anything. None of FaZe have pushed through. This is just a wait outside Viper's pit, right? They have all the time in the world to do this until you have to plant. And right now, FaZe is making sure that they have the upper hand in that situation. Superman's letting them know nothing is happening.
Yeah, I mean, they're still saving this Owl Drone right here, and there you go. There comes the drone in. We're going to try to clear out Superman. Here comes also a showstopper, but Superman stops it. There is the snake bite on that ground. Another ping. He's trying to long range that. Meanwhile, though, Tig is playing towards spawn just in case Baby Bay was on that rotate, but it doesn't happen. And look at that. They're actually pulling back with 18 seconds left on the clock, and they still have Dicey in the front of green. So despite that, even if there's a plant, it could still cut rotations, not Baby Bay, down towards Kitchen. And it's a double op setup. It's shutting everything down.
Oh my word.
Another op coming in from Baby Bay, and that is going to be the round for FaZe to tie things up. I mean, I got to stop wishing at this point, because I'm gonna turn old. Older than I am.
FaZe, maybe LG thought FaZe would bite on the conditioning of mid, put a few more mid, and eventually push. Because LG just went from winning rounds on being confident and pushing mid to waiting for FaZe to do something and losing a round.
Yeah.
FaZe was super smart to not do anything. They have an operator. They've been waiting back. It's not anything like their fracture play where FaZe was pushing round after round and set a consistency that they would be in your face. So LG, a little bit of a misread there. Another round of FaZe by just playing some solid defense and making sure that, holy moly, they hit those shots. That was a clean round.
Toxins going up.
So the call to try to just cut rotations from one player playing towards spawn side didn't work out. So LG looking to press back forward. FaZe is doing the same thing. This is going to be a Viper on Viper just around the corner. While we do have Dicey just on the other end to support his teammate just in case. Oh yeah, we're dancing.
Like a sitcom. Who's going to be the first to push?
It could
It's
be
like
the
they want
Aldril.
B. Everybody's trailing over.
And that could be the Aldril just around the corner too. Oh no, it's going to be a body check, and Dicey's waiting there. Elise Tig is winning that first one. Here's that push forward, a 4-on-4. Trying to TP
Quick
away,
trade.
but just a little bit too late. Op versus Op. B-Dog wins that one as well, as LG are trying to clear up towards B. But they're still poised on the other end. He hears the footsteps. He actually saw that Sage. He can line 2 kills up right there. He knows that there's a second one. Takes just around the corner. The spike is down with 28 seconds. The underhand flash, the full blind. Beautiful kill
so
from
good.
Poise. But he also lost his teammate in the process. So now he's going to have to look for the clutch.
30
Still
seconds
pushing
left.
forward. B-Dog, oh, the timing! Gets the kill with the operator, and it's LG at map point and series point.
Match point.
What a round. Honestly, so many things. See, I don't know if people are just like antsy right now, but it seems like so many things are falling to the wayside that would be quick fundamentals of checking spots and doing this and that. It is tight. It is intense right now between these two. LG look to take this map, possibly FaZe, trying to keep the game together here to bring it in, and they've been so close each time. The first map was this close. And is it going to happen the same way again, Vans? They get it almost tied, and then LG takes the last two.
I don't even want to. At this point, I want a third map. But
I do too. Give it to me.
And it's looking at least good to have an overtime, because that's a huge 0 point. That spotted 3 players in the beginning. The Aldril misses, and Dicey does get the first blood out to take. So that's a great start, and is even able to escape safely out back towards the spawn side. And look at the blade storm of Baby Bay. He's clearing on the other end, and it's going to be a 1 versus 1 against Moose. There comes that ponytail, but the shots miss. He falls back into safety, and that is just going to be now back into a default. Now we understand, at least from LG, that their jet from FaZe is on the A side. How do we creep up now? It's going to be back towards B.
Viper's wall ready to go up. 15 seconds on that when it does, so you can check the clock and see how much time they have to work with. They haven't put anything up yet. You can see that's the gas coming in from Superman. Well, Tig's down, so I guess we're not going to see that Viper wall, rather, as I get synced up with the round. It looks like they're actually, again, waiting for pressure from FaZe here. It's a lot tougher without Viper, though, and they still choose B, Vans.
There's still a snake bite on the ground for Superman, and it's going to be a boost. Oh, I like this. Mata's on the top of it as well, but he's stopped by Poise right away, and
2-3.
things are looking good for the overtime. The Hunter's Fury to come out from Playa. It's 4 versus 2 now as B-Dog is suppressed, looking for a frag here with this operator. He's going to shoot it. That's a nice aim. But then after that, that's going to be it. Poise manages to get the kill right after, and we actually tie things up, and we're going to overtime.
Switching sides.
Flying back in there with confidence, too. Unfortunately, that was the operator that had to shoot the sonarable, yada yada, but FaZe, knowing that they could get in with that sonarable, a few that were close. And these early kills from Dicey to start snuffing out the strategy that LG wanted to bring to the table. FaZe not going quietly on this one. They bring it back. And it looks like we are going to get that OT. Operator in the hands of B-Dog. When would it not be?
And starting on a defense, too. So this is a great start, actually, for LG to go for this. I mean, to no surprise if Dicey does the same thing there once they switch signs. But Dicey opting on his end to go for a Vandal instead. So this is potentially a quick run, or maybe a little bit of conditioning towards the A side from this Initiator and Baby Bay. See what happens there towards the B side after.
Waiting for that aggression. You can see dash activated. They'll wait on this. LG back on defense, like you said. They go to play it slow. B-Dog's going to have the operator over towards Jenny. Rotation does have both Sova and Raze coming back into the site, which makes it a little bit easier. Whenever you have a Raze and a Sova, you can definitely clear positions. You're not just kind of flashing or smoking that angle. So it's good to keep both of them, Dazzle and Mata, alive for the retake. FaZe is waiting for something on their end, too. We saw this quite a bit with the Owl Drone going forward, and here it's going to be the util that they can rely on. Fragment towards Jenny.
B-Dog pops a shot, TPs away. This potentially could allow FaZe to go for a plant here towards the A site, but again, you still have paint shells, you still have a snake bite, still shock darts, and here it comes.
There's the nade.
While Baby Bay is trying to hold his ground towards the back of the site, it works out for one frag, traded out by Mata. Spike has been planted, but Fly is pinged out. Take with the kill onto Superman, and things are looking grim for FaZe. Dicey a little bit too late for that flank. I mean, he was trying to do it, but his teammates were the one that were dying a little bit too fast. But that is not going to do anything with that kill, because that Spike is going to get defused here by LG as they once again retake control of this series and are at series point.
See if they can bring the attack again. Do we see the mid-round strat with another variation? I think we'll get a timeout here from FaZe so they can coordinate what is going to be able to happen on this round. Again, I like that retake from LG that round. I talked about how having Mata and Dazzle to come back in, and we saw exactly where they put those nades. Jenny to the Spike got a little disoriented. Yeah, well, you lost Moose coming back in. The trade started to follow because of that repositioning of that follow-up, or that site take utility, rather. So 13-12, see what FaZe comes out of their timeouts with. They have seemed to prove advantageous throughout this series so far. We'll see if this one can do the same.
Yeah. Thinking that this FaZe timeout could try to figure out how they could press the hand a little more aggressively if they can. Will they leverage Dicey to maybe try to get a early pick towards the mid side with a potential rendezvous / op? Or is it going to be Baby Bay trying to look around and trying to get up behind enemy lines once again? And LG has actually left a couple of those gaps on how they're defaulting on their attacker side too. So lots of options are available. It just depends what FaZe is able to read out of this setup for LG into this round.
Baby Bay operator, Dicey's there, and they're on the top of the list. 20 and 20. 40 between those two, 47 between Mata and B-Dog. You're getting your duels from the top two on each team here, fans. Like, it's what we came to see, and they are putting a show on. Here could be a final round if LG locks it in. FaZe looking to keep the series alive.
Here it comes. Both star players for FaZe watching the A side. Mata's out there potentially getting ready for that boom bot push, while the Sova's clearing out towards long B for LG. Meanwhile, Moose is, I mean, you could see from the default, they're really trying to make sure that nobody's pushing forward from the defender side up towards the A side. We're really trying to clear this noise here. There's that setup for that boom bot. Dicey this time is still going to stay. He's still going to stay.
Gives it a shot this time and says, nope, I'm not playing that game. They're just peppering the walls here, seeing if they can get any return utility.
Yeah.
Because utility in itself tells you who's there, right?
Huge knife.
Process.
Poise actually spotted 2 towards that mid site as well. So now it's an indication that potentially they're going for an A side split, but they also can't forget that it was an owl drone at the beginning of the B side, and it's 4 players now from LG going for this mid side take once again, and there's actually nobody there from FaZe. At least they have a crossfire set up.
The rendezvous out!
Yeah, Superman cannot get that kill. Should I say Satchel Charges to come in, but LG, they're making this work. Only 3 players left onto the round. 4 FaZe clan, and the Spike is kind of deep back down towards the mid side. For the mid side, rather. Poise is pushing forward. Moose goes in, and things are not looking good. Baby and Dicey, the 2 you can rely on, get 2 kills of their own. They're still at a disadvantage. Moose is still playing by his own wall. Baby Bay does not have a dash, but with this kill, he can. There is that button. He does get the kill. Cannot dash away because he gets slowed. A 2 versus 1. A tap on a Spike. The double swing, and Mata gets the kill. And LG wins in overtime to win the series 2-0.
What a last few rounds. Like, some of these plays and teamworks from Luminosity, I want to see them every round. Like, that is some... It's not like innovative, but the way they're executing it is so clean. That rendezvous, the made you look B-Dog played there was so gross, so clean. He almost goes down, but you saw everybody else pop out of the smoke. I mean, what are you going to do about that? And those are the kind of situations both teams had to start pulling out that game, though. What are you going to do about that situation? What a really neat game to see from both teams. A few of the rounds, I feel like both teams got frustrated and they were just kind of bashing heads, and we saw those wild rounds where everybody was just throwing sauce. And then both teams also showed us those rounds where it was clean, orchestrated. And again, that mid-round strat seemed to prove very useful for LG. What a great series between these two teams. And again, it stands that everybody's beating everybody right now. LG came up on top this time.
While we have some sauce being thrown from both of these teams, I still think that it tastes sweet from both ends. And one of those question marks that I had about Flya, I mean, he's filled in the shoes of Poach, right? The replacement that we had that kind of kept us guessing as to why this switch happened. It definitely does show that it does fit into the system that FaZe currently has. Unfortunately, they fall short, right? They lost 13-11 and a game in overtime on that second map, but it still looks good for FaZe. Unfortunately, though, they're going to go 0-2, and I think for that, it's going to have to be the analyst desk that's going to have to break it down after we come back from this break. That's it for us, but stay tuned. We still have another match coming forward after the break, and let's have fun to watch more NA VCTs.
All right, everyone, and welcome back as LG have beaten FaZe 2-0. Brent is finishing up an apple.
I've literally got apple in my teeth. I didn't realize it was coming back to us that quickly.
He just couldn't. You got it. You know, I'm fine if you want to just, clean the teeth midair. That's fine with me.
It did feel like the series was going to go longer. It did feel like you might have more OTs or maybe even another match.
Look at that. We wave the narrative into Brent's missteps. That's the way we do it here.
I was hungry.
Yeah.
I need my brain to function. It needs nutrition, The body needs that.
The brain needs nutrition, and the brain needs LG popping off getting 2-0. You see, like that? That's why I pay me the big bucks. All right, let's go to our Prime Gaming highlights here, because to kind of kick things off here, right? Like, the series overall, I think was a lot of question marks for us. Like, what's going to happen here with FaZe? Like, especially with Flya coming into the roster, but also LG finding this second gear and really starting to perform at the level that we all were hoping to see here. And Josh, it's very clear that Luminosity, they're finding that groove and they're doing everything right.
Yeah, they are. Both of these maps were really close. I mean, either of them felt like they could have gone, deep into OT, gone the other way, something like that. Just tracking that B-Dog head-to-head, though, even on map 2, I mean, we all know he popped off on map 1, but even on map 2, he was still +5 against Dicey, and that's +3 in operator fights as well. So B-Dog is still having monster performances against some of the best statistical players that you have out there. And this is still a map where Baby Bay played well on New Jet, but since the round of 16, they are 1 out of 5 for winning maps when he doesn't get match MVP. So it's not enough for Baby Bay to be playing well. He has to be in god form, or FaZe just simply aren't winning.
For LG, I mean, it started putting respect on their name, I think, as well as a team, because, we always think of them as the clout killers. I don't know, just this team that when you're going up against them, people are still really not respecting them as much. But I think Matter's returned to form, honestly, as well, where he's playing the Razor role he's quite comfortable on IceBox. Man was heating up at the end of that. This team has explosive firepower. They just, I don't know, man. I mean, do they need like a social media manager as well to go around with it as well, just to really sour the team? This team is good, and honestly as well, just to really bring it back full circle to this win today, 2-0 in their group is a phenomenal beginning to this. Now they are, I think it was Vanity who said in an interview that he expects LG to be making playoffs guaranteed. This heavily is going to be helping them do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're one step away from bettering their standings and where they were in season 1. It's very clear that this squad has improved by leaps and bounds. But, also I think it's important to note, what are going to be the improvements you make mid-game, Sideshow, because it was clear, especially in that IceBox game, that LG needed to figure out some solutions against FaZe. FaZe were being very aggressive in certain rounds, and they were able to find it in the way of a timeout and some really key adjustments.
Yes, they took a timeout after round 5 when they were down 1-4, and then they started implementing a ton of these mid pushes. This is round 12, but they did it on 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 25. All of these rounds had mid pushes coming out from LG on the defense, and this round just worked
numbers.
beautifully. No. Those were all, I mean, a huge amount of rounds where they did that. That also stops B-Dog from having to use his one trademark in mid. You could see it on the minimap there. It was over by B yellow too. Yeah. And this mid aggression completely caught FaZe off. FaZe's on attack rounds on IceBox are supposed to overwhelm you on the site. The LG weren't even playing on the site. So that adaptation really got them back into the first half with a bunch of really good individual plays from B-Dog and Mata. This team is starting to really get all of their pieces together for a good run here in stage 2.
Oh yeah, it really feels like the gears are turning, but one player in particular was making things go boom, and we all very much liked it. Now, joining me for our Verizon post-match interview, it's Mata alongside us here. And Mata, how you doing, buddy? You hear me?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm chilling, baby. I'm chilling. First things first,
nice.
I'm gonna break the ice here real fast. I just went to your Twitter real quick, and I looked at your screen time, and I saw that Olive Garden's at 107 hours. We have to talk about this, and I have to help you find better food choices.
Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of their breadsticks. You know, that marinara sauce is deadly. Like, I don't know, there's something about that. Just can't get enough.
The marinara sauce is indeed deadly. My bathroom has noticed that one too many times. All right, shifting focus.
In all honesty, I've actually never even had Olive Garden, but sorry to break the news to the fans.
Oh, heartbreaker. I'm sure the sponsorship won't be coming anytime soon, but let's talk about the game, brother. You know, first things first, you know, after season 1, you know, you guys were left watching Masters from home. What did you feel like you needed to improve going for the team as a whole, not just yourself individually, but just as a team as a whole going into season 2 to really make the statements that you're making so far?
Yeah, well, we were a really new team in stage 1, and like we were pretty happy with our result in 5th place, but we weren't to get complacent. Okay. Like we knew we still had a long way to go. We ironed out like a lot of things in our matches, and like with every match we got a good bit better. And I think like now we just have a lot more experience, like obviously from that point to now, and we've been working extra hard this stage too. Like we've been putting in extra hours in practice. Excuse me, my throat's a little sore.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, take a sip of water, baby. You just got the dub. I got
water here. I'm out of water.
Oh, hate to see it, man. So you hop on the apps. I don't know. So let's well, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because there was something really interesting that we had noted was that, you know, a lot of the teams, especially the squads that came in from open qualifiers, like pretty much everyone has made an adjustment. You guys elected not to. Do you feel like that's the thing that has kind of put the squad over everyone else, where everyone's trying to, you know, figure it out? You guys are already like a few steps ahead of everyone else.
I don't know if I could like confidently say we're steps ahead of other people, but I think that we match up well a lot against like a lot more teams now than we did before. We're not getting caught off guard by a lot of things, and like I think, like I said, I might just go to the same answer. I think it just comes down to experience again. Like we're matching up better against things that we might have not seen last stage, and yeah, that's honestly it. Like people have just been putting in extra hours in and out of practice too, like just all paying off right now.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it is, man. You just put in the time, put in the work, and the results, you know, they come out. The results are definitely coming out here, man, because you guys have beaten Sentinels, and now you've beaten FaZe, and it seems like you guys are the fan favorite killers here. You know, any words to the fans, because it kind of feels like you're putting a little target on your back. Any spice you want to give us to the FaZe and Sentinels fans?
I mean, sorry for beating your favorite teams, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I like
maybe tell them to improve a little bit, but
tell them to improve a little bit. Say it again. Tell them to improve a little bit.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. But people seem to have forgot that we were a new team last stage, and like they kind of ignored our results. I'm not really too sure why. Like people thought we were the 12th place team in this group stage for some reason, and I don't know. Like it's nice